So there are quite a bit of limited cards in Duel Links, and also banned cards. There are 4 banned cards and a whole bunch of limited cards, as you can see. And I think some of them can absolutely be taken off from the limited list, and it will be absolutely fine. Because a lot of the cards in this list are pretty old when they were put in the list. So it will be absolutely fine for some of the cards to be unlimited, and so let's go over some of them. So we'll start from the very beginning. Well, the first card we have is Cyberstein. This card lets you cheat out fusion monsters from your extra deck. I think this card is fine. If you unban this card, it will do nothing to the meta because Duel Links is a speed duel format, so you start your life points at 4,000. So in order to actually have enough life points for you to pay, you will have to use either a life point boosting skill. You can't even use life point boost alpha because that only gets you to exactly 5,000, which is not enough for you to pay 5,000. This card was banned back in the day when people were abusing this with life point cost 0, because you can basically skip the life point payment to use the effect of Cyberstein, but that skill is nerfed right now. Back in the old days, the skill was basically, you can basically use the skill how many ever times you want to use it, but now it only has a single use. So it's only one single cheat. It's not like you can cheat a whole board of fusion monsters. And even then, it still wouldn't be consistent, because you'll still need to have access to Cyberstein. So I think this card is okay to be unlimited, and no one will play it. And even people that do play it, it's still gonna be in some very specific niche meme deck that will not be meta at all. So it won't be a problem to the meta game, and it's perfectly fine to be unlimited. And then the next card is, and I also want to mention that even if you cheat out cards like Ojama King, it isn't the end of the world if your zones get locked, because Duel Links is such a back row heavy format. Even if your opponent makes Ojama King turn 1 and locks down all your zones, first of all, it won't be consistent because you need to have Cyberstein, and you need to wait to actually have enough life points to use this effect. And second of all, because everyone is playing stable back row, you can just use Book of Moon or just any other stable trap and just get rid of Ojama King, and their game plan just immediately goes away. They just immediately lose. Next card. Hey Trine, yeah, this card should stay banned. This card is an instant win if you're playing against back row decks, which a lot of decks are because it's Duel Links and everyone's playing back row. So yeah, this card should stay banned. Not much to say. Invoked Cositas, I believe that's how you pronounce the name. This card should stay banned. I mean, it is still pretty toxic even to this day, because even in today's metagame, there are still a ton of targeting effects and destroying effects. So it will still be very, very difficult for you to actually out Casitas with 2900 defense. Not to mention, it can boost its defense to 39 with your Alistair in your hand. So yeah, this card should stay banned. Grass, just let it ban. Let Grass to be banned. This card is just auto win. And we don't even have Ash to negate it, so it's fine to be banned. It should stay banned. You guys are saying that Stein is not okay. No, I when it was banned, no one was playing Cyberstein when it was banned. Absolutely nobody was playing Cyberstein when it was banned. It's only banned because there wasn't a ban list before. They literally created a ban list, and then they looked at Cyberstein and said, "You're going in," even though nobody was playing Cyberstein. When Cyberstein was banned, no one was playing it. Well, it is still toxic in ranked, but it is not consistent. It is not good. It is just toxic. It is not competitive at all. And there's only a small amount of people actually using this card as to do some toxic plays. It's like a very inconsistent FTK that isn't actually an FTK. There's still like plenty of outs to it. Well, a big difference of Casitas and Cyberstein is that Casitas is consistent. We have Alistair at 3 copies. And we also have cards that search Alistair. We have skills that search Alistair. You can't play skills that search Cyberstein, because first of all, you will want to summon it during your first turn, and second of all, you will have to play life point boosting skills or life point cost 0 to actually use Cyberstein. So it's different. Casitas is actually consistent. You can consistently make this card over and over again with a singular card. You can just use Alistair and just any water monster. There are like plenty of outs to Casitas, but that's not the point. It's consistent and it's annoying. Wait, Bamboo Scrap. Is this okay? Yeah, you can definitely just unlimited Bamboo Scrap because links are out. So this card is absolutely terrible. You just play links. So yeah, this card can be unlimited. It'll be fine. Anyway, Champion's Vigilance. Can this card be unlimited? I think this card will just get better as time goes on because there are more ways to summon high level normal monsters on your field. So this card can just get more and more applications, but I don't think anyone is playing this card right now. Even in Dark Magician and Blue Eyes decks, people aren't even playing a single copy of this card, so maybe it's fine for it to be unlimited. Yeah, DD7 Thomas, should this card be, yeah, this DDDs are still pretty good, so it's a fairly new card in the list, so let's leave it to 1. Ishel, should Ishel be unlimited? I think Ishel is fine at 1. Honestly, yeah. Ishel at 1 is alright. Ishel at 1 and Contact and Sanctified at 2 is probably the best limitation that you can do to Dark Orlands. It is acceptable for it to be limited to 1. And Desynchro, this card should absolutely be unlimited. People weren't even using this card that much when Fortune Ladies were somewhat competitive. And Fortune Ladies are just absolutely garbage right now. No one is playing Fortune Ladies, so you can just unlimit Desynchro. I mean, technically you can loop Trishula with Desynchro, but first of all, it's not consistent because you can't really search multiple copies of Desynchro. And second of all, it is pretty resource intensive, and there isn't a really easy way to cheat out a lot of Trishulas. Next up, Enemy Controller. Okay, this card limited to 1 is fine. Yeah, as much as I really like Enemy Controller in free-to-play decks, it's fine to have it at 1. Because it is a pretty powerful card. Next card, Full Metamorphosis Fusion. This card could absolutely be unlimited, because even if you unlimited this card, people will still just play 1 copy because it's bricky if you play multiple. You can search this card anytime you want, so yeah, this card can be unlimited, and people will still play 1 copy. It won't do much of a difference. The only difference it might do is it will make Luster Pendulum also legal to play within Metalfoes, but I don't think that will make that much of a difference. Okay, Gandora. Should Gandora be unlimited? Wait, I think Gandora is fine to be unlimited. Because people were only playing 1 copy anyway. And I don't think Gandora decks are pretty good right now, even if they have access to Monster Reborn. I honestly don't think Gandora is that good of a deck right now, so it's fine for it to be unlimited. Gemma Lady, just leave it to 1, it makes FDKs possible. Give and take, yeah, this card should be limited to 1, even after links come out, because you can special summon cards that don't allow your opponent to special summon monsters, and that is very toxic. So no, you shouldn't. Golden Bamboo Sword, yeah, leave it to 1, it helps FDKs be consistent, so leave it at 1. Head Judging, yeah, this card could be unlimited. No one was playing this card before, and I have no idea why it even went to 1 copy. Yeah, Desperado decks aren't around anymore, and after the skill is nerfed so badly, no one would ever consider play the deck anyway. At the end of 2022. So yeah, this card is very inconsistent, and it just makes a lot of people rage if you actually pull off the effect, but it's not really good itself. So Karakuris, I do think it's fine for you to unlimit Karakuri Merchant. I think if you unlimit all the cards in Karakuris, they will be a decent deck, but they won't be as game breaking as they were before. So it'll still be a pretty good rogue deck, like Harpies. But it will be perfectly fine to make it unlimited. Luster Pendulum. This card. Well, I'll actually not go over the bundle cards because those are just limited one by default, and you can only get one single copy of it. So let's just skip over all the cards from the bundles, but not from the card trader. So I'll still go over cards like Full Metal Force Fusion because it's from a card trader. Anyway, Massive Morph. Yeah, this card can be unlimited because, again, links are out. So just link your monster away, or just synchro your monsters away, or exceed your monsters away. Just do anything with it. It's gonna be fine. Or even you can just Book of Moon your own monsters if you don't have anything to get rid of your own monster. This card is very, very old when it was limited. Back before even synchros are out. So yeah, this card can be unlimited. And no one would use it. No one is actually playing stall decks anymore right now. You don't see a lot of stall decks than there were before. So it's gonna be fine. I'm not supporting stall, it's just that stall decks are just not good. They're just so terrible right now, so it's fine to unlimit stall cards because no one would play it anyway. Because they're just so bad and terrible. And even like stall decks won't... if you play Massive Wolf in stall decks, it isn't good. Monster Reborn technically it's from a release campaign, but I won't go over it. Needle Bug Nest. Yeah, limited this card to 1 is fine. Otherwise, yeah, milling 5 cards is pretty strong. So yeah, this card limited to 1 is fine. Rhoda, it's a bundle card. Yeah, Resurrectal Revolution, is this card fine? Yeah, I think this card is fine to be unlimited. Because burn decks are just not consistent. It's fine for them to be unlimited this card. Revival Gift, you revive a tuner and then you special summon to give... Okay, well this card is a bit different from the Bamboo Scrap, because even though you can just link away the tokens, well the problem is that you also revive a tuner, and that is just extra card advantage. So I'm not sure if we should unlimit this card, but yeah, we should probably leave this card to 1, maybe, or to 2. Also, same for some other cards like Massive Wolf. It's fine for it to be 2. So yeah, let's just leave it at that. Okay. Salad, Gazelle, and Roar. It's pretty new additions to the list. It's fine for them to be limited 1. Okay, Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Should this card be unlimited? I think this card is okay at 1. Yeah, this card is okay at 1. Even though it isn't really good, but it will be really frustrating if you have like multiple Scrap Iron Scarecrows and your opponent doesn't have backward removal. But I do think that most decks should be running backward removal. If you don't play backward removal, it's just you're just having a bad deck, just bad deck building. But yeah, this card should be limited to 1. It's gonna be fine. There's a bundle card. Okay, this card. Sablas, is this card? Yeah, this card should be unlimited. Because the problems are the skills. The skill is a problem. And because all the skills are already nerfed, this card can't possibly be abused with those skills again. I do think this card is a pretty good free-to-play option for you to summon high-level monsters. So I quite like this card. Just outside of the skill triggering context. But yeah, but they already nerfed all the skills, so it's fine for this card to be unlimited. Storm. Should Storm be unlimited? I think it should be maybe limited to 2. Or maybe possibly 3, along with some cards that it might be abused with. But I think limited discard to 1 might be a tiny bit harsh, but I may be a little bit biased here. Yeah. But honestly, if this card is at 1 copy, it's probably fine. Even if they are limited discard, it's still probably okay. It's gonna be a really good card in some decks, but they might be able to control how this card will be used by also limiting the other cards that are used that this card could be abused with. Maybe they could like limit both to 3 or something. But honestly, limiting this card to 1 is fine. It's gonna be fine. Okay, Super Poly, bundle card. Okay, Tretch. Tretch to 1 is fine. Absolutely fine. First of all, Tretch is already a lot less good than it was before. I've already talked about that in my battles video when this card was limited to 1. Second of all, people should only play a single copy of this card anyway, because if you draw too many of them, they will break. For me personally, I only play 1 copy of it anyway, so it's fine at 1. It's not too broken that it needs to be banned, but yeah, 1 copy is fine. Right, Trish's bundle card. Okay, Type 0 Magic Crusher. Okay, this card is okay. It's not consistent, but it is a bit toxic in Witchcraft Physics. It is not once per turn, which I know. I have used this card myself in Witchcraft before, in my free-to-play Witchcraft decks. I actually used this card to burn my opponent to death. But, yeah, 1 copy is fine. It should be left at a limited 1, probably. Anyway, Woodland Sprite. Huh. Should Woodland Sprite be unbanned, unlimited? I think as long as Golden Bamboo Sword is limited to 1, I think it's fine. Maybe I might be missing some potential combos, but I do think Woodland Sprite can be unlimited as long as the Bamboo Sword engine doesn't get too consistent. Anyway, Whispers is a fairly new card. Yeah, it deserves to be on limited 1. Secret bundle card. It's technically it's not a bundle card. It is a card trader card, but yeah, it is good. So yeah, limited to 1 is fine. Okay, Aloof. Should Aloof be? Maybe you could make an argument to put both Aloof and Gold Sark to 3. That might possibly also work. But because Thunder Dragon Dark is also limited to 3, you might want to change that as well. But yeah. It is quite a good card for it to be unlimited. Because for banished decks, it's basically a double search. So maybe limit 3. But honestly, limit 2 is fine. Okay, next card. Blackbird Close. Yeah, this card could be unlimited, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see why an extra copy would change things a lot, because now they're already playing 2 copies of Close right now, and they aren't competitive, and they aren't playing any other limit 2 cards in their deck anyway. So yeah, Close Gen Limit is probably not that big of a deal. Okay, well, Charge of the Light Brigade. This card I think this card should be at 3. It was at 3 for a moment, and I think that's probably fine. I think this card is fine at 3, and then you will have to limit some other cards to 3 to prevent them to being abused. Maybe just like back in the old days, limit both Brigade and Witchcrafter, the revival spells to 3. Or maybe some Infernoid cards, because they can be abused with Infernoid. But yeah, I do think Witchcrafters are fine to have a tiny buff maybe Brigade and Revival Spat to 3, that will be fine. Okay, Concentrating Current. Should this card be unlimited? Honestly, I think this card is fine to be unlimited. It's probably gonna be a good card in some decks. And first of all, like Link decks don't have defense, so this card doesn't work with Link decks. And also, it's kind of a it's only useful if you already have a monster that has high stats on your field. So you have to make sure that that monster doesn't get disrupted for you to actually use this card. Maybe you could make an argument to make it to free and then limit some other decks to make it not abusable. Maybe limited free so they can't use it abuse it with invoked. But I do think loosening the restriction to current is fine. Okay. Sentry, yeah, you can unlimited Sentry. You can unlimit Sentry and also Impact, honestly. Maybe you could let Impact stay at 2. Because maybe Impact is a tiny bit too strong because of the negate in the graveyard, and also you can search it really easily, but at least for Sentry, it's fine for it to be unlimited. Because Crystons aren't good in the meta right now. I literally just played Crystons and then I got demoted from Legend 2 to Legend 1, so it isn't good. It's fine for Sentry to be unlimited, and then maybe just have Impact to 2. Okay, couple phase. Should this card be unlimited? I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, this card is too much of a gamble for it to actually be good. Yeah, it could be unlimited, especially after Desperado's skill got nerfed. Yeah, it could be unlimited. Okay, Cyberload Fusion and Cybernetic Overflow. Yeah, these cards could be unlimited. They will make Cyber Dragons a bit better, but because the reason why they were so good back then was because of the skill, and they can just decrease their life points and just have free monsters on the field, and then just keep Fusion Summoning using Fusion Gate. That's the main problem. And not these two cards. So yeah, these two cards could be unlimited, and Sidras could actually be good. Be somewhat decent and playable. Okay, next card, Kepler. It's fairly new card. Yeah, it should stay at 2. Contact, I already went over Contact when I was talking about HL. Okay, Rhinospus. Yeah, this card could be unlimited. It's pretty sad for just pure digital bug players to have a limited 2 card. But the main reason why this card was so good was because of Onomats, and no one was playing Onomats anymore. And also, honestly, having this card is not that much of a big deal anymore, especially after Links are out. They can't pop Link monsters because they don't have defense. So yeah, this card can be unlimited. And then Egoist, yeah, this card just got unlimited, literally from the latest ban list. Brave Neos should be at 2, just to limit the cards that Neos Fusion can abuse. Liquid Soldier should stay at 2, it's a pretty new card. Gold Sarf could... Okay, as long as Gold Sark is limited at the same as Lupine, it will be fine. So they can be both at 2, or they could be both at 3. As long as they are both limited with the same number, it will be fine. So Banished decks won't be too consistent with both Gold Sark and Draloof. Okay, Howl Life is toxic. It should be stayed at limited 2. Kite Droid is toxic. It should be limited to 2. Lady Debug is yeah, it should be 2. It's a pretty new card in the list. Crimson Fox. Yeah, Crimson Fox is a bit toxic too, and it can, if you are limited Crimson Fox, you can abuse it with News Fusion. So yeah, maybe Crimson Fox should. Yeah, Crimson Fox should probably stay limited to 2. Machine Agent Ritual is. Why is this card still at 2? This card could be unlimited and no one will use it. Okay, this card could be unlimited. Yeah, it's not good anymore. Mega Rod City, leave it at 2. I don't want people searching Kite Road using this card. Misjudge. This card could be unlimited. The problem was the skill all along. A lot of the decks, the cards in the limited list are fine themselves. It's just the skill that's the problem, and that's the case with Misjudge. It's the skill that makes it land on heads every time, which is a problem. It basically makes it a negate, but for it itself, it's fine. You can unlimit this card. Okay, Pulse Mines. Okay, that's a tricky one. So, yeah, you should probably leave this card at 2. It's probably the best option, even after links are out. Yeah, Pulse Mines is still pretty strong in machine decks if you have it unlimited. It's a pretty strong stall card, just like Hollow Life Barrier. And same with Rainbow Life, which pretty much does the same thing. Okay, Tamer Elder. Yes, this card could be unlimited. Yeah, Ritual Beasts are way too inconsistent right now to be good. So the deck itself is decent when you actually get your combo going. But first of all, they're pretty prone to just any kind of disruption at the very beginning. And also, because Elder is to 2, it's pretty inconsistent. So yeah, you should unlimit this card, and it will be better. Okay, Rosrose Dragon could be unlimited. Yeah, I think this card could be unlimited because the skill was the problem again. Solitaire could be unlimited because there are no limited 2 cards in Shounuis or even in Mayakashis anywhere, so having 2 or 3 copies of Solitaire won't make that much of a difference. So it just might make them a bit more consistent, and that's probably it. So Solitaire 3 is probably okay. Yeah, Silent Sword Slash. So okay, this card got limited very, very long time ago. So I don't know if this card will be good in today's meta. Probably not, because it's still a 2-card combo. You still need a Sun Swordsman, and you have to draw this card, and both cards cannot be searched for now. So yeah, it's pretty inconsistent, and attack and an affected effect only lasts until the end of the turn, and even then it's still 3,000 attack. So I think it's fine. Anyway, Star Seraph, yeah, this card could be unlimited. Star Seraph could be unlimited. The main problem with the deck was that people were using it with Dark Lords. Well, Dark Lords aren't really good anymore. And even with both Stick Chair legal, the combo still isn't very consistent. The reason why it was consistent before is because of the See You Later skill, which makes the combo more flexible, because you can also start the combo if you have Stick and a Valhalla, and the Valhalla continuous spell that also starts your combo. But because the skill is nerfed, so the Stick Chair combo is actually pretty inconsistent. Swallow's Nest should stay at 2, otherwise Harpies will be way too good. Dark Lord, I went over this card before. Violin should stay at 2 because heroes are still pretty good to this day. And Violin is probably one of the best cards that they could summon from the deck. Holiday, I think Holiday could be at 3 if they also move Light Brigade to 3. So they can move both Light Brigade and Holiday to 3, and you'll be fine. Clash just got unlimited. Alistair, okay, we are now entering the limit 3 territory. Okay, Alistair to 3 is, okay, honestly, most of the limit 3 cards are fine, because they're only limited 3 just to prevent specific interactions between the limit 3 cards. So, I think most of the limited free cards are fine. I think I'll just go over some cards that I think can be unlimited. So, okay, let's begin with the Karakuri. Okay, this was limited to 2, and then they moved it from limited 2 to limited 3. So yeah, people still aren't playing Karakuris, mainly because their best combo starter is still limited to 1. So honestly, they could both unlimit the Merchant and Komachi, and Karakuris will be a lot better. They will be decent, but they won't be too competitive and too broken. And same goes for Enshi and Dojo. And even if they are both unlimited, I think the deck will be okay, but not too good. So that concludes the balance review. I know I've definitely made some pretty unpopular opinions for some of the cards that I think could be unlimited. But yeah, those are my opinions on which cards could be unlimited. What I don't want in the metagame is consistent annoying decks, right? Because they're consistent, while they're not too good, there are still outs, but they're just consistently annoying. So like Invoke Casitas. It is, if you unban this card, it will be consistently annoying. There will still be outs to this card, you can obviously beat over it, or you can just use some kind of non-targeting, non-destruction effect, and just flip it face down with Floodgate, warning point this card, or whatever. But yeah, it is consistently annoying. So for the case of Ishel, it's the same thing. Because Dark Lords are inherently a pretty annoying archetype, because they keep recycling their stuff and they negate your stuff over and over and over again. And since they summon their monsters in on defense, it makes the deck pretty stall-oriented, so that makes them even more annoying. So that's why I'm fine with some cards with like Mega Morph being, Massive Morph being unlimited, or Cyberstein being unlimited, because while they're pretty toxic, but they're not consistently annoying. Because first of all, you can't search Massive Morph. Even if you can, it's not really good because links are out. Not only links, you can just use any kind of extra deck summoning method. You can just get rid of the monster. So it's not even that good. It's limited before all the extra deck summoning methods were even viable. And also, in the case of Cyberstein, yeah, you need a lot of setup for you to actually get the effect going. And even then, it's first of all, it's not consistent. And while it might be annoying if you don't have the out, but it is pretty easy for you to actually have the out. Even if you have to actually draw the out. But I mean, Cyberstein players don't do a lot other than just sit on Ujama King. So you can just keep drawing cards until you draw the out. It's not that hard. It's not like you will lose immediately if you don't draw an out on your next draw phase. You have plenty of opportunities to draw an out. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say here. So yeah,